Over the past weekend, or this past weekend, I saw the How to Train Your Dragon film, the live action adaptation, and I just want to quickly share my thoughts in this video, my quick little review, and I just want to talk about this whole era of live action films where we've been basically getting every single classic film adapted into live action, right? First things first, I think it's a great film in terms of every single live action film that we've had over the past year or so. This one probably takes the cake in terms of just becoming the best one I've seen. And I know I've seen numbers of complaints of how it doesn't follow the original script. Some things have been changed. Some things are different than the original. This one actually copies the exact same thing into a live adaptation format, and it works, right? Again, this whole era of live action films, it's not necessary. I don't think this film was actually necessary to make because we still have the original. I don't think you can take away from the original. But if you want to watch a live action film, this you can watch the exact same film in live action, and it doesn't take anything from the original story. The soundtrack is the same. I think it's a little bit more, I guess, renewed in a way, but it's pretty much the exact same soundtrack. And the spark that we watched when we were 10 years old or whatever, it's still there. And I feel like some of these scenes, being able to rewatch it again and being able to relive these scenes to watch them or whatever might be in the theaters, it has this unique experience of hey, you know what? I really like what they did here. The CGI was on point. Toothless looks great. And all the extra CGI of the dragon and everything was really well made. And when I looked at the budget, it was actually shocking because Disney has made live action films that were 10 times more of the budget what they use in DreamWorks. So even that alone is really impressive itself. I thought it was going to be a lot more than when I found out. So that was shocking. But again, I feel like this whole era of live action films, hopefully it ends soon because DreamWorks kind of just proved it that you can still follow the original script, make it, not without losing any of that charm that the animation had or the original had or whatever. It still has that same charm. And as long as you stick with the original script of what they had in the original, everything's going to be great. And I hope, I feel like this kind of closes that debate of live action or, original, whatever it might be. They adapted a film that was exactly the same. So we shouldn't be hearing complaints of how it doesn't, follow the original source or whatever. It even had the people that, once again, I mentioned this earlier, but the people who were part of the soundtrack or whatever, everyone still was rehired for this same project. Even the voice actor for the dad, Stoic, he was voicing the character back in 2010, I want to say, when the first film originally came out. And now that he's able to play the character, he works really well in terms of every single live action adaptation, or sorry, the characters that were adapted to the live action. This one works really well. He kind of played his role really damn well, and I think everyone did a great job, but the dad really killed his role, and he did a really great job for what he was able to be given in a way, right? Every other character, they did alright for the most part. A lot of these characters don't actually look what the original film looked like, which, you know what, I get it. There's never going to be perfect casting, but the script is pretty much the same. Nothing's really been changed, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't want to nitpick it. There are little changes in terms of how a person looks. The girl doesn't have her blonde features because I think it's supposed to be from that Nordic Viking era, whatever it might be. I don't know what is the decision behind that, but she doesn't really quite look the same. And I don't know why I can't remember the name top of my head, but a lot of these characters kind of just don't look how they were supposed to. But you know what? It's such a small little nitpick that I'm not going to put too much attention to it. Hiccup, on the other hand, I think he's great. He killed his role. He did great. That little sort of awkwardness, or that I don't want to say accent, but there's this awkwardness, almost his voice was almost stuttering, but awkward. I don't know how to explain it, but there's this little I don't know, a voice hiccup, I guess you can call it. That's the best way to put it. But
Okay there, bud. We're gonna take this nice and slow. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Position 3, no, 4.
it wasn't there in the live action. And I know, live action things happen, whatever. It would have been nice to have a character that sort of sounds like the original counterpart, but hey, you can't have it all. Overall, great film. I watched this in a 4DX theater, and I think that's the best way to watch the movie. I unfortunately feel like this movie or the 4DX experience kind of ruined it for me because like I don't think I will ever be able to watch a regular film in IMAX ever again after experiencing 4DX. It is a little bit pricey, but I think it's completely worth it just being able to experience that. And it's a lot harsher for my first time what I was expecting because it in that actual flight scene, which is incredible, it kind of jolts you around in this chair that's a lot more aggressive than I thought and what I was anticipating. But overall, really great experience. I think this film kind of closes that era or like kind of finishes off that debate of like, are live action films necessary? I don't think so. But we have another option to watch, and we do have the original as well. I don't know at what point they're gonna stop this whole era of live action, but it works for what we have, and I think it's a great adaptation. Nothing's been changed, and once again, in terms of live action, this was probably one of the best ones I've ever seen in this whole like in the last couple of years. I saw the Mulan one. It was kind of weird because they didn't have the original song. I feel like what's that one song? I'll Make a Man Out of You. I feel like it's such a important point to the story, and just not having it there is kind of crazy to me. But that's my personal opinion. I hope no one gets triggered at my opinions. I'm just kind of sharing that. What else can I think of? Disney, they've been trying their best, but the fact that they're not hiring the original staff, people who were part of the script or part of the original filmmaking of the original, I feel like you're taking a lot from it. And this film kind of shows it that you can have original cast and you can have a charm of like people who used to be in the first project, in the original animation project, be in the live action and still tell the story how it is without taking anything from it. I think that's the main point here. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I just wanted to talk about this really quick, might share my thoughts and kind of just voice out my opinions. I think it's a great film. I think you should check it out. I think 4DX is unfortunately the way to go if you have a theater near you. If you like what you saw, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.